Your work is done. There is nothing urgent, nothing on fire. You finally sit down to rest. And then it appears. Not tiredness, not anxiety. Guilt. A quiet sense that you're wasting time, that you should be doing something more useful, even when there is nothing left to do. Why does rest feel wrong for some people? In this video, we'll look at why guilt shows up exactly in moments of rest, and why something that once helped you stay functional can slowly start working against you. And near the end, we'll explore one small shift that doesn't fight guilt, doesn't turn rest into laziness, but makes it unnecessary. 1. Rest is not a problem, but it feels like one. For many people, rest is not neutral. When they stop working, their body relaxes, but their mind starts searching for danger. Did I forget something? Am I falling behind? Should I be doing more? This guilt does not appear during work. It appears only when action stops. That tells us something important. The problem is not laziness. The problem is silence. Rest removes structure, and without structure, the mind fills the space with judgment. Some people can rest easily. Others feel uncomfortable after just a few minutes. So this is not human nature. It is a learned response. For responsible people, guilt often becomes a signal of control. If I feel guilty, it means I care. If I stop feeling guilty, I might lose discipline. This is the trap. Guilt becomes proof of value. But guilt is a poor manager. It creates pressure, not clarity. It increases activity, not quality. In the short term, it helps you perform. In the long term, it blocks recovery. 3. The rule that never expired. Many people learned one simple rule early in life. First work, then rest. This rule works in childhood. Tasks have clear endings. Adults decide when enough is enough. But adulthood has no final checklist. There is always more to do. More messages, more ideas, more responsibility. So rest becomes something you must earn. The problem is not the rule itself. The problem is that the rule has no off switch. If rest requires permission, and permission never arrives, guilt becomes permanent. 4. When identity depends on productivity. For some people, work is not just work. It is identity. I am useful. I am reliable. I am the one who gets things done. When rest appears, identity weakens. If I am not producing, who am I right now? This is why rest feels dangerous, not because it wastes time, but because it creates a gap in identity. People with broader identities rest more easily. They are not only workers, they are parents, friends, thinkers, observers. When identity has only one pillar, rest feels like collapse. 5. The false signal of tiredness. There is a quiet belief many people never question. If I am tired, I must be doing something right. Tiredness becomes evidence of effort. Effort becomes evidence of worth. But tiredness is not a reliable signal. It does not measure focus. It does not measure impact. It only measures depletion. Many bad decisions are made when people are exhausted but refuse to stop, not because they are strong, but because guilt is louder than signals. 6. Why fighting guilt does not work. Many people try to remove guilt directly. They tell themselves, "It's okay to rest. I deserve this." But guilt does not respond to arguments. Guilt responds to structure. If rest feels undefined, the mind treats it as risk. The goal is not to relax harder. The goal is to make rest predictable. 7. The small shift that changes everything. Here is the shift. Stop thinking of rest as a reward. Start thinking of rest as maintenance. You do not reward a machine for working. You maintain it so it keeps working. Rest is not a moral decision. It is a technical one. Instead of asking, "Have I done enough to rest?" ask, "What kind of rest does my system need right now?" Short rest, limited rest, scheduled rest. Not endless, not emotional, just functional. When rest has boundaries, guilt loses its job. 8. What changes after that? When guilt fades, something interesting happens. You do not become lazy. You become clearer. You stop rushing tasks. You stop forcing energy. You notice signals earlier. Rest stops feeling dangerous because it is no longer undefined. It becomes part of the system, not a threat to it. Guilt during rest does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your system learned to survive under pressure and never learned how to stop safely. Rest does not need permission. Only systems that fear collapse make rest feel dangerous. This is the if verse, where your mind becomes easier to understand. Subscribe. There's so much more to explore. Thank you for watching.